This tutorial is going to focus on the basics of the Ubuntu operating system known as EEEPC. EEEPC is a Linux-based operating system and was created specifically for the hardware inside of a EEE PC. And it works best on a EEE PC. They were never created for Windows use. They were made specifically for a Linux operating system. And so that's what we've decided to put on them here at Oak Harbor School District. First thing we're going to do is we're going to boot the computer up, and when you come to the login screen, you're simply going to click on your name and type in your password and simply hit enter. Take about 10 seconds for the interface to come up. This interface is known as the Unity interface, and it basically puts everything right out there where you can see it and find it. First thing you see that it defaults to automatically is your favorites. Firefox web browser, and you can add and subtract programs from this area as you see fit. You don't have to have the webcam booth on there. You can just right click and remove that as a favorite. And you can also add anything back to it. The second column you see here is files, and this is laid out just like your interface in Windows. You're going to have your My Documents, only here it's just called Documents. Your music, your pictures, your videos, and your downloads. Anything that you download into EEEPC is automatically going to go straight into this folder. Right now I haven't downloaded anything, so it's empty. So I can just close that back out. Next you'll see accessories. Now accessories, just like it implies, are things that you can use to help you in your day-to-day business and your day-to-day work. A calculator, password and encryption keys. Encryption is basically encrypted files within the operating system that if somebody were to get a hold of it and find a way to log in, they wouldn't be able to see any of your personal data. Not really necessary here at Oak Harbor School District, but it's a part of any Linux operating system. Terminal is kind of like the run command in Windows. You're probably not going to use that very much. The more technically advanced you are, probably the more that you would use the terminal. And text editor is just like it sounds. It's their basic text editor like Notepad in Windows. Then you come over here to the columns on the left, and now you see games. You can also, like anything else, add and subtract games from here. Your graphics is going to be like Picasa. Picasa is for camera viewing, or not camera, but picture viewing, and kind of like a Photoshop type thing. I have not played with it myself, but it is here and available for you to play with as you see fit. Get used to it, become accustomed to it. Simple Scan, which is a scanning interface. If you have a scanner, you can connect it to your EEE PC and scan via your EEE PC. Probably the place you'll go the most here is going to be the internet, and anything that has to do with the internet can be found here. And anything you add, say you want to add a web browser like Opera or Google Chrome. In Linux that is called Chromium, but if you add that at any time, this is where it stores it. Firefox web browser is standard with Linux, and generally is the default user the default web browser of choice. Office, just like the name implies, only we don't use Microsoft Office here. We use what's called OpenOffice. Many of you will choose to use Google Documents, and that's fine. Web 2.0 allows that and stores it on the Google servers, but if you choose to use something local and want to create a presentation or a spreadsheet, or if you want to create a document or write a letter, this is where you're going to be able to do that. Evolution Mail and Calendar. Obviously there's no Outlook here, so if you wanted to set up your school email through here, you can. That will come in a later tutorial. We won't discuss that now. Right now we're just giving an overview of everything that this wonderful operating system has to offer. Your sound settings. Sound settings includes the Banshee Media Player, which is Linux's answer to iTunes. It will store your library. You can pick your music. You can add music, subtract music, just like anything else. And as you know, every EEEPC comes with a webcam, and the webcams are activated by default. I do that myself, and this gives you a chance to use your webcam. You can use Skype, which is, again, if you look back in internet, you'll see Skype is there. And then last but not least are going to be the administrative programs and the system programs that your administrators use. You are an administrator on this computer, so if you choose to do any of these activities, they will work. If you add a program or take a program away, because you're an administrator, that is a permanent solution. So but this gives you a chance to and I won't go through everything, but it gives you a chance to look at your partition tables and different disk utility. A disk utility is if you had external hard drives connected, SD cards, things of that nature. This is where it would allow you to look at those and recover data and things of that nature. You can tweak your login screen. You don't have to log in every time. You can set this. If you go inside to the login screen settings, you can actually set it. I have to unlock it first. And to unlock anything, all you have to do is type in the password that provided for you, your password, because that is in fact an administrator password, because like I said, you're an administrator. You don't have to have the sound. You can always log in automatically as yourself. If you add other people, and how to do that will be in a later tutorial, but if you add another person, you can have it log into them automatically. But generally, we choose to show the screen for who will log in. It's easier that way. You have to put a password in, and you won't walk into your classroom and find somebody's using your EEEPC without your permission. So we're going to close that. Network tools are ping and who is and how to obtain your IP address, things of that nature. Printing. People ask me all the time, can I still print to my printer even though I'm using Linux? And the answer to that is yes. It utilizes a program, and I won't confuse you with too many logistics, but it utilizes a program called Samba. And Samba is a reachback to a Windows server, and what it does is allows you to use the Windows-based servers through Linux. It puts Linux generic drivers on there, but they work just the same as everything else. You can create a startup disk, so if something happens and you're scared to lose data, and you have an external CD-ROM, you can create a startup disk. Package Manager is, again, something that as you become more tech savvy, you'll use that. And the Package Manager is adds all of the components for a particular program that you want to add or subtract, things like that. Time and date, just like it sounds, and system testing, again, just like they sound. You will, if you remember right, the Ubuntu Software Center is in your favorites, and you can refer to my tutorial for the Ubuntu Software Center that I am also creating. But basically anything you want to install is in here in categories. You just click it, click install, put in your password, and it will add that particular program to your computer. Update Manager, again, you are administrator on your machine, so it's up to you to keep your computer updated. You just simply click the Update Manager and it will do the rest. It'll tell you all the updates that are necessary for your computer. It'll scan and it'll have a whole outline for it. All you have to do is click Update All, and it will update your computer automatically. You don't need to reboot it all the time. It will just work. It's a beautiful thing. And lastly, you'll see users and groups, and this is where you'll be able to add other users should you so choose. Sometimes you have another teacher that maybe you're teamed up and you're working on the same project. You want to be able to pass this back and forth. You can add them as a user, and being that you are an administrator on here, you can choose to make them an administrator. And if an administrator makes any changes on the computer, those changes are permanent. The other option for an account type is, gotta put my password in here. But the other option for an account type is just a desktop user, and a desktop user can do common tasks, but they cannot install any software, and they cannot make any changes involving all users. So remember though, if you give anybody administrative rights on your EEEPC PC, any changes they make will affect the entire computer, including you and your profile. So basically, like I said, that's just a running tutorial of the basics for Easy Peasy Linux. I told you before, it's super easy to use. Everything is outlined. So tune in for my next tutorial. I will show you how, once you're logged in, to get on the web, and we'll go from there, and we're going to start learning how to use the Easy Peasy operating system together. Thank you for your time.